In this video we share Pope Benedict XVI is the terror of Satan. What we are about to tell you makes us understand how even the presence of the Supreme Pontiff is a tremendous annoyance to Satan. The devil inspires terror, takes possession of people's hearts and souls, and only the help of an exorcist can make them come to their senses and remember themselves. That white robe, the blessing, the candid gaze, a story that makes us shiver but that also makes us understand how the power of a pope's faith can remove and free those who are possessed. He is among the best known and best known exorcists in the world. We are talking about Don Gabriele Amorth. There are many testimonies and stories of his struggles against Satan and of the exorcisms he carried out, with the help of God, so that many souls could save themselves from demonic possession. In one of his books, entitled The Last Exorcist, My Battle Against Satan, which Father Amorth himself wrote in collaboration with the Vatican expert Paolo Rodari, presents us with a completely unusual aspect that, perhaps, is known to few. That is, the presence of the Pope bothers the devil very much and, consequently, also those who are possessed by him. What we are about to tell you is taken from this book cited above and sees Pope Benedict XVI as its protagonist during a public audience. It is the month of May 2009 and St. Peter's Square is slowly filling up with faithful who have flocked there to attend the Pope's Wednesday audience. A small group of 4 people enter from the back of the square. 2 women and 2 young men. The women are 2 of my assistants. The 2 young men are 2 possessed. Nobody knows. Only they and the 2 women who escort them know it, Father Amorth recounts in this passage. That day, her assistants had decided to take the 2 young men to the audience, in the hope that their souls could somehow find some peace and benefit. The exorcist explains, in fact, that the presence of the Pope is of enormous annoyance for the devil, and that even seeing and perceiving the presence of the Pope disturbs and in some way helps the possessed in their battle against the one who possesses them. The 4 approach the barriers near the stage from where Benedict XVI is shortly to speak. The Swiss guards stop them. They don't have tickets to go any further. The 2 women insist. It is important for them to be able to bring the 2 possessed as close as possible to the Pope. The Swiss guards do not allow exceptions and order them to leave. So one of the 2 women pretends to feel bad. The skit gets a result. The 4 are made to sit over the barriers, in places reserved for the disabled. The story continues. The 2 women try to reassure the young people, Giovanni and Marco are their names, and announce to them that, shortly thereafter, the Pope will be a few steps from where they were seated. The 2, however, are silent, they do not speak. It is as if those who possess them, they are 2 different demons, are beginning to understand who will soon arrive in the square, she continues. At the sight of Pope Benedict XVI, the demons begin to rise up. At 10 o'clock, the Pope Mobile begins to make its way into St. Peter's Square. The 2 women turn to Giovanni and Marco. They instinctively support them with their arms. The 2, in fact, begin to have strange behaviors. Giovanni trembles and his teeth chatter. The 2 women understand that someone is starting to act in the body of Giovanni and Marco. Someone who, with the passing of the minutes, shows himself more and more agitated. Giovanni, keep control of yourself, says one of the 2 women. Stay in control, Giovanni. Don't get overwhelmed. React. Stay in control. The other woman says the same words to Marco. Giovanni does not seem to listen to the woman's words. Except, suddenly, turn around and say to her in a slow voice that seems to come from no one knows which world, I am not Giovanni. Words that would make anyone shiver, but not Father Amorth's assistants, aware of the fact that, in these cases, they cannot speak, because only an exorcist can speak with the devil. So he remains silent and limits himself to supporting Giovanni's body, now completely in the hands of the devil. The jeep goes around the square. The two possessed bend to the ground. They hit their heads on the ground. The Swiss guards observe them but do not intervene. The jeep goes a long way. Then he arrives at the top of the square, a few meters from the door of the Vatican Basilica. The Pope gets out of the car and greets the people in the front rows. Giovanni and Marco, together, begin to howl. Lying on the ground they howl. They howl very loud. "Holiness, holiness, we are here." One of the two women yells at the Pope, trying to get his attention. Benedict XVI turns but does not approach. He sees the two women and sees the two young men on the ground screaming, drooling, trembling, raging. He sees the hateful gaze of the two men. A look directed at him. The Pope is not upset. He watches from afar. He raises his arm and blesses the four. He continues to tell. Something happens to the two possessed young men, a whip struck all over the body. So much so that they fall 3 meters back, knocked to the ground. Now they don't scream anymore. But they cry, they cry, they cry. They moan throughout the hearing. Then when the Pope leaves, they come back into themselves. They come back to themselves. And they don't remember anything, he concludes. In this chapter, Father Amorth also explains to us that Pope Benedict XVI is much feared by the devil. The way in which Benedict XVI lives the liturgy. Respect for the rules of him. The rigor of him. His posture, they are very effective against Satan. The liturgy celebrated by the pontiff is powerful. Satan is hurt every time the Pope celebrates the Eucharist. Satan greatly feared Ratzinger's election to the throne of Peter, because he saw in him the continuation of the great battle that his predecessor, Pope John Paul II, fought against him for 26.5 years. You can read more about this in the book The Last Exorcist, My Battle Against Satan, the book that Father Amorth wrote with the Vatican expert Paolo Rodari. Father Amorth passed away September 16, 2016. Pope Benedict XVI retired from the papacy on February 28, 2013. Thank you for supporting my channel. May God bless you and keep you. Our Lady, Queen of Peace, pray for us.